Hey everyone, so in this video, I'm going to be going over the best hikes in the Dolomites. So if you're looking to plan a trip to the Dolomites, then this video is for you, just because my wife and I just came back from there and we did about 6 to 7 hikes. I can't really remember it correctly, but let's hop into my screen and I'll show you which hikes we did, how easy or difficult they were, and who I would actually recommend them to. So here on my screen, this is basically the places that we visited, and I'm going to be going over the difficulty for them. So the first place that we visited in Venice, it's not a hike, I know, but it is a city. So you do fly into Venice, then you drive to Dolomites, and then you drive back to Venice. That was our route as far as getting to Dolomites. Now moving on to the actual hikes. The first hike that we did was actually Seceda, and we did a loop trail there. It was absolutely fantastic. I think if you're able to like beginner hike, it's a very beginner hike friendly loop trail. So Seceda was absolutely beautiful. One thing I really do like is like loop trails as far as hiking them. I like when they start from the beginning, as far as the scenery starts from the beginning, and the scenery is the entire way of the loop. It's not like you start the hike and then you hike somewhere and then you actually see what you came for, and then on the way back it's just like dirt and trees and stuff. So Seceda loop trail was absolutely fantastic. That's definitely a must-do hike just because it's very easy. Alpine was the second hike we did, and if you wanted, you could actually push doing both of these on the same day. Okay, you can push doing both of these on the same day. In order to get both of these hikes, by the way, you do have to take a cable car or gondola, and the ticket price is about like $30 to $40 US. But Alpine is another loop trail. And again, as soon as you exit the cable car, it just looks absolutely fantastic. And then you can just go around the loop. It takes about like 2 to 3 hours to do, but it's very easy, not strenuous at all. Now, Passo Gardena, okay, it's not actually a hike, it's actually a drive-through. So when you go from Val Gardena, which is where Seceda and Alpine is, and you drive to Cortina d'Ampezzo, make sure you pass by Passo Gardena. Again, this isn't a hike, but if you're into nature and you really love scenic views, Passo Gardena was probably the best part of driving through the Dolomites, in my opinion. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't think it's talked about too much, but it's absolutely beautiful when driving through it. Now, Cortina d'Ampezzo, this is a city. Tre Cime, this is another loop trail that we did. It's about a $30 national park entrance fee, so you do drive up. And again, the hike starts basically when you exit your car. So once you park your car, you just have to walk a few hundred feet to actually start the loop trail. And the loop trail again takes anywhere from like 2 to 3 hours depending on how fast you walk. So to kind of review thus far, I'd say Seceda, definitely an easy hike, must do. Alpine definitely an easy hike, must do. Tre Cime for sure, definitely an easy hike, must do. Now Lago de Serapis, okay, that is a hike also near Cortina d'Ampezzo. I already went over easy hikes to do in Dolomites, but Lago de Serapis was, I would say, strenuous for an average individual, okay? And by average, I mean like maybe mid-late 30s. So Lago de Serapis, it's not a brisk walk in my opinion. I'd say it's quite strenuous, but maybe what made it strenuous for us was that because it was raining and it was muddy for us, and so we did have to make sure that we were careful here. So Lago de Serapis, it's about like a 5 to 6 hour hike, so it's the longest hike that we did during our time at the Dolomites. Lago de Bryce, it's also a pretty easy loop trail in my opinion, okay? There is going to be some incline, but Lago de Bryce, you can just park your car, go straight to the lake, and you can see the lake. And this hike in particular, you can actually just walk around the lake and just enjoy the scenery. So as far as the must hikes to do, for sure, Alpine Seceda, and Tre Cime, okay? As far as secondary hikes to do, I would say Lago de Bryce, and I didn't put on here Cinque Torre, which is also in Cortina. That's also a really nice hike that I wish we did, but unfortunately it was just raining too hard for us to kind of decide to hike there. But and then as far as like a secondary slash tertiary hike, meaning like a third tier hike, Lago de Serapis. Now if you're into like more strenuous hikes, or you do want to kind of like a challenge, for me, for someone who's a beginner hiker, I'm not really like advanced, I call Lago de Serapis a bit challenging. So if you want a challenge, I mean, I saw a bit elderly people, I saw kids going off the trail, so it depends, you know, it depends on what type of level of hiker you are. But for someone who's a beginner hiker, Alpine Seceda, Tre Cime for sure. Those are the best hikes in the Dolomites. They were absolutely beautiful. I love loop trails. Secondary, Lago de Bryce. And you don't have to stay at Lago de Bryce, by the way. You can just drive up there. I think it's about like a 50-minute drive from Cortina d'Ampezzo. Drive up to Lago de Bryce, take pictures with the lake. I would recommend going early. The lake isn't flooded with boats. Then you can start walking around the lake, and that's usually when like the boats start coming out. And by boats, what I mean is like tourists who want to row within the lake. And the Lago de Serapis, that's like a secondary slash tertiary type hike if you're in more for a longer slash a bit more difficult hike compared to others. So that, in my opinion, are the best hikes to do in the Dolomites. If you're looking to plan a trip to the Dolomites, make sure to watch this video next, where I go over my travel itinerary. Is basically the ultimate travel guide to going to the Dolomites.